I'm Melissa.
Now, Mike, without a mic. Mic, but I don't have a mic. My
Mike.
mic was my mic was missing. And also my sock is still missing. I actually found it, but I put it
Oh,
somewhere. Now I don't know where, so I'm sockless.
but I'm wearing it on my foot today.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so yeah, happy Tuesday.
Cheers. Look at
Happy
that
post
nice.
Thanksgiving. Really worth, yeah. Um, yeah, happy post Thanksgiving, everybody.
Right?
Hope
Hope
you all
everybody had a
enjoyed
great
your
holiday.
feast.
Yeah. I know I did. I
Um,
came to a conclusion though. We had so
what?
much turkey left over. And I think we said this before. We made two turkeys. I smoked one bird. We did one, roasted it in the oven like normal. I'm not doing that again because we had so much turkey. Like we had everything. We had a lot of everything left over. But the sides, everybody's clamoring for, and like the turkey is a side dish to me. Everything like all the actual sides are the important part of the meal, and the turkey is just there. So we're also debating
Yeah.
what to have for Christmas dinner this year because I don't think we're doing turkey again. It's just too much.
I don't really.
We're thinking
We should,
roast
we should do
pheasant.
steak.
Nah, steak is meh. No, we might do
I don't think you've had
actually
a good steak.
actually
That's
spoiler alert, we might do a Mississippi pot roast because
pot roast isn't bad, but eh,
so
I'll bring my own steak to slap on the grill.
meh. Steak is meh. So,
Anyways,
hey, what are we
so
talking about today, Alyssa? What
okay, so
exciting and
today,
interesting thing is our topic of discussion for today?
so I was scrolling on Instagram like I always do,
Say like you do.
and I I came across this post by the from the just one of those pages that always
Yeah.
has, little fun facts and
The page is
yada
called
yada yada.
Theories, by the way.
Yeah. And it had it has this thing that came up that says things science still can't explain. So that is what we're going to be going through today. Just, talking about it, giving our
Sure.
opinions like we like to do. And yeah. Um yeah.
How they make candy corn? Is that one of them? No, that's not one of them.
That
No, the
would be
first
funny.
one, the
Is
first
that
one on
something
this
that
had
you would like to dive into?
I would like I'd like to know how they make it. Um,
Yeah.
the
Next
the one
October we'll go through that.
I was fascinated by was children with past life memories. It says kids as young as 2 have detailed memories of places, names, and people they've never met, even some even proven real. That's that's kind of spooky. That's a little bit spooky to me.
Which
And
I
I'd like
have
to
heard
I'd like
about
more
that before. Have
details.
you heard?
Ha- no, I have
Have
not.
you ever read stories like that?
No, I
Very
have not.
interesting. Very
Wow.
interesting. It's yeah, it's kind of like there's been kids. There was a story I read a while ago, and it was this little boy, and he had like a war memory story
Oh wow.
or something like that, and he kept saying that he was having this like reoccurring dream or war memory that kept popping up, and it was like the person that he was talking about, um who he was, turned out to be a real person that like fought in some war or whatever.
And so
And
it
it
wasn't
was
that
like a
somebody
little
was reading
kid
him
that,
stories about this or something, was it?
no, yeah, 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 obviously not. Like it was just, he kept
Wow.
having this memory, And then it turned out like, wait, that's a real person. And there's no way that like he would have known that person or anything like that.
Right,
And that was
right.
it was a while ago too, that it's not even like, nowadays kids are on YouTube shorts all the time or just social media in general where they could come
Yeah.
across a video where like a name or something pops up. But yeah, I think that's very interesting. I think it's also interesting that like, yeah, science cannot explain where
Well, I
those
feel
past
like
life
those
memories
are
are
the
coming
kind of
from.
things that are hard for science to explain too, because like, you know, for science to explain something, they have to have like all the, they have to have evidence and facts, and like the only
Yeah.
evidence and facts you have there is that the child knows certain things. So,
Right.
um, yeah, that's really interesting, and I haven't heard that. And now you make me want to look into it more because I that's really interesting. That's really interesting. I mean, I try to think
Hmm.
because that's the other thing is when you talk about like science explaining things, I think science tends to look for the reasonable explanation versus
Right.
something more, you know, uh, not necessarily spiritual, but something beyond what science understands and that. So
Yeah. I think it's
what
one of
how do
those
you
things that I think it's something that I don't know if they're really scientists, but people who study like afterlife and reincarnation and all of that, like
right?
that's something that kind of almost is their realm.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
think it's cool. I think it's pretty neat. They do say that younger children are closer to the not closer to the afterlife, but yeah, I don't know, closer
Yeah,
to the
they're
afterlife or something.
more. I think part of it would that would make sense is like as you become an adult, you become more skeptical, I guess, of things like that. So if you thought you had a
Hmm.
memory of something that didn't happen, then or that you don't remember happening, then you would be like, oh, that's just something weird. It kind of goes into some of the
Yep.
dream stuff too. I still would like to have a good understanding of dreams because I have some really strange ones, like just things
Yeah.
that I'm like, what the heck was that? Like,
Yeah, and then you Google it, like, what does my dream mean? And it's just like,
yeah,
doesn't even give me like a good answer. It just gives
yeah,
me the
no. Oh,
like,
that means you were hungry before you went to bed or something stupid. Yeah,
it's
it's.
because you're just worried about, like, okay, we all know I'm worried. Like, that's
I
not
think
why I
dreams
keep
probably
dreaming of
fall under.
marshmallows chasing me. Like,
Yeah, I think dreams fall under that category too, though, of things that science really doesn't have a good explanation for. They have theories.
yeah.
They have a lot of theories, but they have no like concrete, explanation for what they are and why they happen. Because I can tell you, like
Yeah,
some
so,
of the dreams I have to think, oh, well, that's just what you were thinking about before bed. It's not. It's like, I mean, I have some really like just things that are like, what, what even was that? Like almost like I'm
hmm.
living somebody else's life. Like in some of these, it's just so weird. Such weird stuff.
Or even why our brains, like, I know they say you can't like create faces in your dreams.
Hmm.
Every face that you see in your dream is someone that you've seen before.
Hmm.
But still, why am I seeing that random person that I
Hmm.
passed in the store and like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and also, how do they know that? That's one of those things that's you know that sounds
It's
like a
also true.
scientific theory that somebody came up with that became accepted, and it's not necessarily true because I don't know how you prove something like that. The next
Yep.
one on your list here, or on this post list, this one's really weird to
Yeah.
me. Ball lightning, glowing orbs of
I know
electricity
I've
that
never heard
float
of that before.
through the air during storms. No one has ever recreated one. I've never seen one. Never seen a ball of lightning floating through the air.
I've never seen it or heard of it until this post.
Yeah, yeah. I I had read things a while ago about like these. It was kind of like people who were trying to get into oh, all that like telekinesis and that kind of stuff, you know. Um, and they were talking about like one of the things they claim to be able to do is to form like just hold your hands like this and you form this ball of energy and but yet they've
That's what it
never
looks like in the
had anyone
photo.
do it, but that's exactly what the photo, actually the photo that goes with it looks
Yeah.
like one of those things that if you go into the science museums, they have those big glass balls and you put your finger on it and the lightning follows your finger. It looks exactly like that. So maybe that's how those form. Like somebody gets one of those balls and then they break it and it just goes out into space.
Yeah, it looks like one of those little yeah, science experiment. It looks like the thing that they would have at like the what is it? The science center.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
completely what it looks.
that's
Well,
weird.
also in the picture they show it like it looks like it has a light bulb in the middle of it, so I'm really confused by that one. I think they're talking about something different.
Um, yeah, and it says no one has ever recreated one, but I guess like we have recreated regular lightning,
Well,
right?
sure. Yeah.
I
Yeah. I
mean,
mean, basically when they with those balls they've done that. I think they have like a scientific way of recreating a bolt of lightning. But that thing, I mean, I guess that goes into the not being able to explain it though, right? Because if science understood how they formed, if scientists, I gotta stop saying science as if it's an entity. Um, if scientists understood how those things formed, then they would be able to, um, you know, theoretically anyway, they should be able to create one, right? If you understood what formed it, then you'd be able to
yeah.
to recreate that process. Um, so yeah, that's an
Yeah, that's
interesting.
interesting. I don't
Yeah,
really
and I
have
don't
much of an
know. I
opinion
mean,
on that because I don't know what it is.
yeah, I mean, I think of some of the things when in college. One of the classes I took that was uh, yeah, like an optional course was an elective. That's the word I'm looking for. Was a meteorology course, which was actually quite interesting. Please use your mute button, which was actually quite interesting. But
I thought I did.
oh no, but
I just pressed it again.
I'm gonna start using.
Wow.
I'm gonna start muting you on my end. But anyway, um, the in the meteorology course they talked about like pockets of air. Like, are you ever walking down a street and all of a sudden you hit a pocket of air that feels either very humid or very cool, like just in one area. Like there's nothing. It's not like there's a cave near you that would be cool. Cool air would be coming out of or
Yeah.
anything like that. You just hit a pocket of air that's a it. They had an explanation for those, and I forget what it was now. So that shows, even though I did okay in that class, it shows
How
I
much you
don't
paid
I didn't
attention?
retain much of it because I'm not a meteorologist and I don't need to use it. But I would wonder if this could be something similar to that, like some sort of like either really dense or really light pocket of air like that some electricity finds its way into and it just moves along then in that pocket of air. I would think maybe something like that. That's my theory as someone who took a meteorology course and doesn't remember what he learned. So take that for what
That's
you
like
will.
when you're in the ocean. When you go in the ocean and you'll be swimming and then you just come across like that little blip of cool water. How
Yeah,
does that happen?
yeah, that's
Why
true.
is it only cold in
Yeah, the
this one
warm
small
water, we all
little
know why
area?
the warm water happens, but the
Right.
cool water, we don't
Because
know
I
what
just
does that.
peed.
Yeah, or someone near
Yeah.
you did, which is worse. How
All
about
right, this next one. Um, Animals sensing natural disasters. Dogs, birds, and even elephants flee before earthquakes or tsunamis with no known physical cues. I think
yeah,
it's just because their senses are heightened. Like, think of their
yeah,
sense of smell. a lot of them have heightened hearing where they
Hmm.
can hear like extra high pitches. I think it's just that they have heightened just overall senses. I don't think it's like a cue or anything. It could literally be just like, we don't know. Obviously, no matter how many tests you do on an animal, you can test that their eyesight is better or their taste is different. Like you can run tests on them, I guess, for that stuff. But you don't know if like, I don't know, their body just can feel a change in the air because those senses are heightened and
Right.
things like that.
Yeah, a change in air pressure, or like for something like a
Yeah.
tsunami, where it would be, that would be like, hypersensitivity to ground vibration, that kind of thing. Yeah, I think that's 100%
Yeah.
what that is. It's just that their senses are
Uh-huh.
like, they say a dog, like their sense of smell is so much stronger than a human's. And, if you think of like when a storm comes in, sometimes you'll get a smell in the air, like they might be smelling, um, the like the
Yeah.
scent of lightning, that kind of thing. Or
Right.
again, like hypersensitivity to like the movement of the earth. Yeah, I 100% think that
Yeah.
that's what that is. I don't know like for sure how you actually prove it. It becomes one of those things that the theory, becomes the best you can get to, I think, because you don't
Yeah.
know what's triggering it in the animal. You don't really, until we can read animals' minds, we don't really have a way to know. That's why, like, a lot of these series where they say, like, when sharks bite people in the ocean, they say, well, sharks really don't
Oh, yeah.
like the taste of human. They think we're a fish. And I don't, like, how do you know that? Have you
I
like
guess they say because
given
like
them
they
some
don't.
human flesh and fish in the water, and they always go away from the human flesh and go to the fish? I mean, like, how do you know that they don't like that?
They
You
say
know,
because they don't eat us in a whole. Like they don't eat all of us.
they just
Yeah,
take a bite. Yeah, but we're also kind of
they
Bigfoot,
just take a
you know.
bite and like spit us out. Our bones are thicker.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's to me is all theoretical, but it's the same kind of thing. It's like until you have a way that you can actually know, you know, what the animal's thinking and feeling and all that, there's no way to
Yeah,
know, what the motivation is there. But it is interesting. It's that
yeah,
becomes one of those things too that you'd like to see a deeper study of. And I do believe at some point we're going to have technology that will allow you to like know what an animal or a person or whatever is thinking. Um, and at that point, we'll be able to, I think, figure that kind of thing out. Which actually, if you think about it from the
yeah,
standpoint of like early warning systems, if you did understand what the trigger was, you could really use that like in a way that would benefit
oh
people
yeah,
because you could have early warning systems for tsunamis before the current early warning systems have a chance to trigger.
yeah. I mean, think of like a person. People get headaches when rain it's about to rain. If
Exactly. Yeah.
animals just have heightened senses, then they can. Obviously, it's just that on steroids.
Right.
So
Yeah, and
yeah,
I think for
that's my
animals
opinion.
too, like since so much of their behavior is instinctual, I think that's why they may be more reactive to it than humans because our behavior, we kind of we kind of tend to train ourselves away from the things that are instinct because of our the way I think that our brains work versus the way an animal's brain works. So that's probably part of it too because they are more reactive to instinct.
Yeah, exactly.
The next one's a
So this
funny one
next
to
one
me.
actually, it's
Yeah, go ahead.
interesting, right? This was my favorite one. It's the human yawn chain reaction, Why do yawns spread between people even through images or text? Science still can't pin it down.
Yeah. And when I saw the picture associated to it, I had to fight a yawn. I'm gonna because it's a picture of a person mid yawn. Actually, it
Exactly.
kind of looks like he's yelling, but then
Yawning,
when I
yeah.
knew it was a yawn because of the heading, then I was
When I
like,
saw his eyes closed.
yeah.
Yeah.
Even looking at it now, I'm
That
about
is
to yawn.
actually, I know, I got it right. I at least had to take a deep breath.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think that's super interesting. I
Yeah.
think that's
Yeah.
super interesting. I think that I think it's always so funny when I yawn and then like anyone who I'm around also yawns because I'm just like,
Do
there's a part of you that's
do
like, haha,
animals yawn
haha,
when
I
like
made
if
you
I
do that.
yawn in front of like the cat, is the cat gonna yawn? Do cats yawn? Wait a minute. Yeah, I've definitely seen a
I don't
cat
think I've
yawn.
ever, I don't think I've
I've
seen a
definitely
cat
seen like
yawn.
lions yawn, right? I feel like animals yawn. So would an animal yawn if they
No,
saw
I've
us? Yeah, because again,
never.
that would go back to the instinct thing. There's no logical explanation in my mind for why that happens. Though maybe our brains
No.
really enjoy the
Um,
process of a yawn, like secretly, and when they see somebody else do it, our brain goes, "You know what? I want some of that. Get me some of that
right,
yawn
we
over
just
here."
love yawning. We like yawning that much. I don't
Yeah,
know if I believe that.
yeah, I don't know. I don't
Um,
know.
but
It does
I
provide
think
a
it's
boost of oxygen to the brain, though. So maybe
yeah, I
is our
always thought
brain
it was if your brain
secretly?
is low on oxygen.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, maybe. My brain must be low on oxygen a lot because I yawn a lot. I
That's
don't
at
like
least what
that.
mom told me, and I believe her. Um,
Wait,
okay.
she told you that it's your brain lacking oxygen, or that I
That
yawn
your
a lot.
brain is yeah,
Oh,
that your brain is low on oxygen.
okay, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, that one honestly that was the most interesting one to me. I like obviously all the other ones are whatever, but
Well,
this was the one that I was like, wow, that's
yeah,
true.
that was the one that I had a physical reaction to because when I looked at it, I was like,
That
even
is
now,
something that
even
scientists
now.
it's actually more interesting. It's that scientists can't explain it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly,
But I
exactly.
did see, you know, just talking about like the body, I saw another thing that was like saying how you can control different things that your body does. And it was saying that if you have a stuffy nose, to take a cold spoon or a piece of ice and put it at the top of your mouth, hold it in the top of your mouth, and it'll, um, I don't know, somehow like clear your senses.
Hmm.
Or it said if you're feeling nervous, pinch your nose and
Oh,
hold
really?
pinch your nose for a little bit.
If I
It
pinch
said
my
if you're
nose, I
feeling
sneeze.
anxious,
If I pinch my nose, it makes me sneeze.
but you won't be nervous anymore.
Right? The sneeze will take that away.
Um,
That's like, why is it? Do you ever feel like you have a sneeze coming on and then it goes away?
yeah, it's
Why
the
is that such a
worst.
letdown? Like, why
It
is that
is.
such a
Yeah, it is the
like?
worst.
Darn it!
I
Why is
think
that so disappointing?
especially when it's like that build up
Yeah.
sneeze feeling, so you're like gearing up for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the worst.
Like, wow.
It's the worst.
So,
And
yeah.
I
Oh,
don't know why.
it
That's
also said it said if you're feeling anxious to take your hand and hold it over your heart and take like deep breaths. And I guess they say like the warmth from your hand on your heart and the deep breaths like calm your body down if you're feeling anxious,
that one's interesting too. Like
right? Isn't that
panic attack,
cool? It
anxious,
had
that
like a
kind of
bunch,
thing.
just like anxious at all, just anxious
Wow.
probably in any aspect. Yeah, it was a pretty cool article. I was like, wow, look at oh, it said if you can't go to sleep to just blink rapidly. Like just like blink really fast and you'll start to feel sleepy because your eyelids will get tired.
Huh.
I never have any issues falling asleep
I'm trying to
myself, so
think.
I usually
I
don't
think
have to
I've
use
done
that,
that.
but
I think I've done that too. I think I've done that to do that
yeah.
to force myself to sleep when I have some insomnia.
Yeah.
Like last night, I
It's
was
very
up till
interesting.
1 o'clock and I couldn't sleep.
Yeah, well, there you go. Start
Wh-
blinking rapidly and make your eyelids sleepy.
This
Your
one's
eyelids, I
interesting.
guess, are just like, huh?
Why we love music so much. Music moves us emotionally, physically, and even spiritually, but there's no evolutionary reason why. But don't they say that music like calms animals down too?
Oh
I think it
yeah.
has to do with like the frequencies. I think it has to do with the frequency. Like that's why certain notes and certain combinations of notes are pleasing to our ears because of the way those frequencies um what's the word? Like complement one another. Like a chord, you know?
Oh yeah.
When you hear a chord played, the notes complement one another. When you hear like notes played together that aren't a chord, they sound terrible because they don't complement one another. I think it's all to do with the frequencies of things and the way our brains process
Yeah,
that.
I always, yeah, that makes sense because I was thinking like, I always just assumed that like, at least with people, certain, music makes people feel a certain way because a lot of times it's linked to like different parts of your life or different things that, have happened. It brings back memories, good or bad, or, like how many times do you hear just a song or something like that and it takes you back to like a certain time in your life or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
I hear songs all the time that I'm like, wow, this reminds me of high school, you know? Um,
Oh yeah,
so
definitely.
yeah, I always figured it also had at least for people, it has that reason. Like that's the reason, people like throwbacks so much and it's nostalgic.
Yeah, I think that's definitely like an interesting aspect of it too is how you react to like memories of songs from the era they're from. Like, you know, certain songs you hear it and even like recently with Christmas music, certain Christmas songs, it's like, oh, every time I
Oh
hear that, it
yeah.
makes me think of this movie, a movie that it came from, So that's I think that's
Yeah.
part of it too, and in how it plays into your memory of either an event or whatever, or a time in your life or something that was
Hmm.
going on. Yeah, yeah, that's definitely true. Um,
Yeah.
I I found something from that same Instagram page. There were some other things, just real quick that we can go through here. Top five things
Yeah.
science can't explain about the U.S. First one is Oak Island Mystery in Nova Scotia, linked to U.S. explorers. A pit that's said to hold ancient treasure, but everything from booby traps to unknown artifacts have baffled scientists. Like they don't know, I guess, how these things that are in this pit exist, which seems like Indiana Jones type stuff.
Yeah, that's weird.
Then there's Skinwalker Ranch in Utah, UFOs, strange creatures, electromagnetic anomalies, and even sci- uh, electromagnetic anomalies. Even scientists sent to investigate left with no answers. When it says electromagnetic uh, anomalies, that makes me think of those lightning balls, and that's probably what that is. It's probably like
Oh,
electromagnetic, fields around those.
yeah, that's interesting. I'm looking at it right now.
Devil's Tower, Wyoming, a massive monolith, defies geology. Its shape, formation, and magnetic behavior still confuse geologists. That's probably from outer space.
Reading this makes me just want to do like a deep dive on all of this
I
stuff.
know. We should like pick a few of these and do like a series of them and actually have facts instead of just talking about, wow, I wonder what that
Yeah.
is.
Uh-huh.
The hum of
Right.
Taos, New Mexico, A low-frequency hum heard by locals for decades, no source found, and not everyone can hear it. That's coming. You know what it is? It's coming from that monolith.
That's
Even
so
though that
funny.
monolith is in Wyoming. The missing
This next one is cool.
Roanoke colony, North Carolina, an entire English colony vanished without a trace in the 1500s. All that remained was a carved word. Wow. Croatoan.
Croatian.
No, it's not
Croatoan.
Croatian. It's Croatoan. Croatoan. That's spooky. See, now I think we should do that. Let's do deep dives into these over the next. Well, maybe we'll start them in the new year. We'll do deep dives into a few of those topics and see what we can find out about them, because that stuff's very interesting. We'll pick up a whole new audience of all the conspiracy theory people.
All right. Yeah, this page has some cool stuff.
Does. It does.
Yeah.
So check it out.
If you want to just
if you're interested in this
get
stuff, it's at Theories on Instagram. So
yeah,
very interesting.
It's definitely, it's one of those pages that, late at night when you can't sleep and you don't feel like blinking rapidly yet, you can just go down a huge, what is it, rabbit hole on that page.
Yep, absolutely.
I love reading that stuff. I'm not much of a conspiracy theorist myself, but I do like looking into that stuff.
Yeah. I want to know the reality behind it, because a lot of it is hyped up by people that want it to be, I think, something more than it is. So like with things like that, I want to know the facts behind it, the reality behind it. So yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's
sure.
that's our charge now for the new year. So be it.
Right.
So say we all.
Oh, anyways, y'all.
Hey, thanks for listening again, and check us out Thursday for an all new Game Time.
Bye, everybody. Have a great day.